What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. You are now watching the new league leaders. Tottenham go top of the league today after a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Luton Town. Spurs were down to 10 men for 45 minutes of the game from a stupid sending off from Bissouma that really put us under pressure. Having said that, Spurs probably should have been about 3-4-0 up within the first half an hour of this game. The game should have been put to bed, but Spurs essentially were not clinical enough today and made it a lot harder for ourselves than it very much should be. Currently, right now in the Premier League, we've got Burnley beating Chelsea by 1-0. Everton beating Bournemouth by 1-0. Fulham and Sheffield United at 0-0. And another howler from Andre Onana, and Brentford are 1-0 up at Old Trafford. And could they be going for their third loss in a row at Old Trafford?
It's really incredible considering, you know, they had a great record going into the season at Old Trafford under Ten Hag, but things are going very sour very quickly.
If they do lose today, surely Ten Hag's on the brink. You've got to expect so. But look, this ain't about Manchester United today. This is about Tottenham Hotspur, top of the league, hard-fought victory. This is your time to have your say on the big game today. And let's start off with our first guest, and that is Ariane. Come on, Ariane. How's it going, brother?
Oh, he's on.
Are you on mute?
Is he muted?
I was on
there you go. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Ariane, you come on every week and you're still coming on mute.
Hey man, look, I'm on my phone today because again I'm having mic problems with the computer and just mixing up some stuff, you know. That's all it is. Look, 4:30 in the morning, get up, watch Luton Town, and I've never been more excited to do so. Under any other manager, 12:30 kickoff. Third kit, newly promoted team away, everything. And as soon as we started missing those chances, I was getting flashbacks. I was saying in chats, look, man, I don't have a good feeling about it. But Ange never heard of curses in his life. He's the curse breaker. He's a witch. Just, you know, getting that goal with 10 men, by the way. And the thing about that goal was no player on that field, in my opinion, no player on the pitch deserved to score it more than Mickey van de Ven. What a player. I think in that first half, I gave him a 9 out of 10. Second half, after that, I think that was a 10 out of 10 performance from today. Genuinely, I think he was absolutely flawless. He was the game winner, and he was the reason we didn't concede next to Romero. Just absolutely incredible. 50 million, I would pay it again. Right now.
Double. Yeah, but talk to me about obviously the performance was decent considering we're down to 10 men for that 45 minutes, but talk to me what your thoughts were when you see that red card come up for Bissouma, because what was he thinking on a yellow card to do that right at the end of the half?
My thing with that was always I've never seen a player get sent off with a second booking for simulation. I've never seen it. And
I think I have seen it once. I just can't recall who it was, but I'm pretty sure it has happened before.
It's my problem with that is so many dives go unpunished that like Bissouma, it's stupid, but it's also like I hardly expect dives to be booked nowadays. So it's something that's just so inconsistent that I was honestly really pissed off when he was sent off, because it's stupid from his end, but it's also like every player does it. Why shouldn't he do it? Liverpool did it the other week and got a penalty, so why shouldn't he? Right?
But he wasn't even close to anyone, you know what I mean? With at least the Liverpool one, you know, there's a bit of debate. Was there contact? Is there not? People can talk about it. This one is like nowhere near the going over, and it's just to do that while you're on a yellow card as well. There's just no defending it.
It's objectively stupid, but it's also like just, you know, you never know as a fan nowadays what's happening, which upsets. Yeah, it's stupid, but players make mistakes, and he made a mistake. And look, it thankfully didn't end up costing us any points in the end, but you know, now we have to go. Well, we already have to go to Fulham without him, but you know, it's
now we have to go to Fulham without him, and then he's on that booking again for the next game and could potentially miss the Chelsea game.
Yeah. Well, looks like, I mean, at this rate, we probably rest him for the Chelsea game anyway. But you know, It's stupid, but it's moments like that happen every season. You know, we have stupid sending off. Or Emerson had one like last season. Just it's one of those that just happens. And I don't want to get on his back too much because he's had a wonderful season, and just the nature of kind of what he brings to us as a team. He's gonna make mistakes. He was always gonna be the first person to get. If you asked me in the beginning of the season who's gonna get a red card first, I'd actually say Basuma, just because the nature of what he does for us, where he has to be kind of that stopper and also that I don't know, not creator, but he's often the one that's taking all the risks. It's always likely that he's going to be the one making the most mistakes. And well, what do you know? He does make the mistake, and it happens. But luckily, it is against a team who last time they were facing 10 men was against Wolves, and they were horrible. I don't know if anyone watched that game. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, but Luton were horrible against Wolves on 10 men, and they really only got a point because of a very controversial penalty decision. So if there was any team that we were going to beat on 10 men, it was going to be Luton, and thankfully we ended up doing it off a brilliant moment from Madison and Van de Ven.
Talk to me, Ariane, about the mentality of the team, because maybe in previous years, down to 10 men at halftime after completely dominating a game like that, they would have gone down and lost the game. Luton did have their chances, but does it say a lot to you about the change in mentality of this team that we stuck together and got the 3 points in the end?
That word mentality is giving me PTSD at this point, but just definitely honestly, mentality that they have is so, it's much more resilient. It's not about what's happening or what's already happened. It's about taking every game kind of by the minute and just doing what you can do. They have 10 men on the field. It's not about 10 men. It's about look up and who you have as an option. That's kind of how they're taking games, and that's what I love. It's just pick your head up, go, be brave. You need a goal, you go get a goal. If it's now, instead of having 3 men at the back, we have 2 men at the back when we're up top, so be it. That's sometimes what happens in the Premier League. And getting that goal from a set piece against Luton, when it's really it should have been the other way around. Their goal should have been coming from set pieces, and we should have been dominating from open play. But no, we get the set piece goal, and just the resilience that they have as a group. They all trust each other so much that it takes a lot of faith for Van de Ven, the center back, to go up in a corner when you're down to 10 men. It takes a lot of faith in your team to do that. And it's, it wasn't even a corner that was whipped in. It was a short corner, and you didn't just track back as soon as Madison took a shot. He stayed in that box because, you don't know what's coming next. And we're always on the front foot, regardless of how many people we have on the pitch. And it's that trust that everybody has together. And as Richarlison said, buying into that philosophy of the coach, buying into trusting each other, buying into that, faith that they have as a group. It's what separates us from the rest of the Premier League right now, and it's why we're flying, because they're all playing out there for each other. Kulusevski up top on his own, as the lone man, he was running his socks off, complete. What an amazing performance is that lone, the center forward, whatever he was, just taking that role and always just taking that minute off, just letting everybody else breathe. They're all running for each other, and it's amazing to see, because as fans, that's what we can get behind. Look, they're all running for each other. We should all be supporting them, getting behind them, cheering for each other. I'm waking up at 4 a.m, the ass crack of dawn, just to watch this team play against Luton in the worst camera angle I've ever seen in the Premier League.
100%. But how are you? What are you taking away from this game in terms of? When we went down to 10 men, obviously we got the win. Or we did concede a few chances to Luton in that second half, and on another day, maybe against a different team, one of those chances get taken. But are you coming away from that game thinking, "Oh, we got away with one there, a bit lucky," or you're just proud of the team and how we played and think we handled the 10 men really well?
I'm proud of the team, and I can't think. I can't think we got lucky, because at the end of the day, Luton could have been 4-0 down. On another day, we could be 4-0 up in 10 minutes. Literally in 10 minutes. So it's what it is, and I'm coming out from that game thinking, look, on another day we perform amazing first 20 minutes in our head. That was the story of last season. We have 20 minutes either in the first half or the second half where we just look amazing. Finally, look, Tottenham woke up, and then we go to shit. Not even last season, the season before that, and the season before that, and the season before that. It's just repeats of good starts followed by bad endings, or vice versa. And sometimes this season we've had moments where we look poor, but we still come away with that result, because it's not all about either our performance or our results. And just kind of figured out a way to merge them both together, where if we're not performing amazing, we're still getting a result. And sometimes we're performing amazing and we're not getting a result. Look at the Arsenal game, or look at the Brentford game. Sometimes things happen, but we've still come out undefeated. And these, I'm going to call them curses, but they don't really exist, but they almost kind of do, because we have these error on these games at the Emirates versus Liverpool against a newly promoted side. Historically, these have been like times where we've gotten frustrated and not gotten a result when we should have. But the way we're performing and the way we're kind of going as a team, even when we're ugly, we're still coming out looking like the side that deserved to get the points. Like we were ugly against Liverpool, but really, after they had 9 men, it was all us, and eventually that goal was coming. Without Allison saving 2 of Madison's brilliant strikes, that game wouldn't have to go to the 96th minute, right? When we were ugly today, we were ugly against Sheffield United in the 98th minute, in the 100th minute, we had to get 2 goals. Today we were ugly, but you can't really say Luton came out deserving more than they got. I think on expected goals, we were sitting at 2, which is really high. You normally overperform your expected goals. So a lot of times, even when we're ugly, we're still getting the results on the board. And that, I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but that's the sign of a team that's getting at that level.
Say it with chest, Ariane. Say it with chest.
I'm not saying it yet, but I'm not saying it. Could we? No. But could we?
Who knows? But it's interesting what you're saying, because I think it's true. We've really come up against different kind of challenges, haven't we? And throughout the season so far, being behind, being ahead, playing difficult teams away from home, playing against 9 men last week, now being with 10 men this week. And each time we've kind of adapted our game, and we've kind of adapted to the situation. And that, I think, I agree with you, is the most encouraging thing with our start to the season. It's not even like, I know we're playing really well, and I'm really happy with that. And I agree with you. We could have been probably 3-0 up inside the first 10 minutes with the chance we created. But it's happened in every game where something's happened. Man United, we're under the cosh for half an hour, and then we adapt our game, end up finishing on top. Arsenal, that 20 minutes in, they're pressing us into oblivion, and we're struggling. We adapt our game, and we ended up on top. Again today, go down to 10 men, you'll think it's going to be a struggle. We adapted our game, we took the lead, and we got through. So whatever seems to be thrown at us at the moment, we seem to be adapting to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just even though our performance aren't the same, I think it's because we're adaptable, like you're saying. Like against Conte, if our first game plan with Conte, it felt like he was playing against us, but with Conte, if our game plan didn't work, we were cooked. We had nothing. It was, if Perisic wasn't crossing it well to Kane, that was it. Because Son wasn't performing, Kulusevski wasn't performing, people weren't performing. But this season, it's, this game really, I don't think Son performed that well, but everybody else stepped it up, and we were able to make up for that kind of, as you do in football. Sometimes one person doesn't perform, you step it up. Richarlison wasn't finishing, we stepped it up. It's just the adaptability we have to just kind of do what is asked of us instead of do just what we want to do, or just the one thing we learned how to do is what's so important. It's the mark of a team that is getting to that level. Like Man City last season, they won the treble, right? But I think that was some of the worst. I think just individually, game by game, I think that was some of the ugliest Manchester City I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years. But that's why they were able to win the treble, because they didn't have to play that pretty tiki-taka football every time to get a result. It was about how they were performing as a team and how they were doing what was asked of them, and just that. Within 90 minutes, they have a task. It wasn't about playing pep ball every single minute of the game. And that's the difference between the Man City side that won the UCL and the Pep that was overthinking every game and losing to the likes of Lyon in the knockouts. That was the difference. It was keeping it simple and just doing what's asked of you. And that's what Spurs are already doing under Ange. And it's why we're just so amazing, enjoyable, electric. What can I say? It's all the superlatives. I can list them out, but it's just the fact that we can take every game by game, minute by minute, and break it down, and it's awesome.
How much of an impact in the second half do you think Ange's changes made? Because we were coming under a bit of pressure from Luton, and then Ange does make the changes. Sonny and Maddison go off, Skip and Emerson come on. Do you think those are the changes that won us the game today?
I don't know about won us the game, but they were a lot more effective than I really thought they would be. I wasn't expecting Skip to play as well as he did. I was not expecting Davis to play as well as he did. Hoiby, I
Yes,
thought was a
you
good.
were, mate. Yes, you were.
I was hoping for it. I was praying for it, and I was very happy for it. But Udogie is such a great player. You just don't know what happens when you take him off the field. Hoiby, I thought was a great change, and I think he was brilliant today. Emerson, I think, played very well. Of course, Veliz surprised me.
He looks like an
Definitely.
interesting guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks like physical presence up there, can hold the ball up at times.
He looks
Yeah.
I don't think he's that big, but he looks so imposing. And there was like one moment where the ball was coming and he like goes up to like head it, and the ball like just dies at his foot. And
Yeah.
there was just very interesting. I saw him. I'm looking at you, Veliz. There was a lot of moments there where, his changes did us a lot of good, and I think he's working, in that aspect of the game where making changes. He's kind of working with his hands tied behind his back, but I think he's making the best of what he has, and it's working very well so far. So, let's keep it coming. Oh, even the fringe players, they're honestly performing. And I don't know about won us the game, but I think some of those players really put in a shift to hold that 1-0 lead, for sure.
Amazing. Ariane, enjoy your night sitting top of the league. You can go watch the rest of the weekend's actions sitting at the top. But thanks for coming on today.
Of course, and as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on! 2 more goals have gone in the Premier League since we last gave you the updates. Chelsea have equalised at Turf Moor with an own goal from Al Dahil, and Everton have gone 2-0 up with a goal from Jack Harrison.
And a couple of where are the super chats at?
No,
a few super chats here from RS1000 says, thanks Ange, thanks We Are Tottenham TV, big up to him. Timmy Schnitzel says, please award the man of the match to Ange. The substitutions and tactical changes were perfection, 10 out of 10. It's no fluke that Tottenham are top of the table because we don't stop. And I have to say, we were struggling at the moment where Ange made those subs, and as soon as we made those subs, we kind of shut Luton down, and the bleeding of the chances did stop. Yeah. So have to give Ange massive credit for his substitutions for sure. And TS says this is a definitive goodbye to the Spursy tag. Can we wave goodbye to the Spursy tag?
Well, I'll tell you what, it would have been a very Spursy thing for us to go and lose today after the dominance that we did have in the opening 20-25 minutes, well, the whole of the first half really. And to stay in there after Bissouma, who's one of our most important, if not our most important player, to go off with that stupid red card, probably 9 times out of 10 last season, the year before, we lose that game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So to come away with the 3 points is very impressive, and the changes that Ange made on the day, I thought, went some way to kind of sealing that victory for us for sure. But look, let's go on to our next guest. He's got a big smile on his face. Let's bring him on, Mr. Brian Daigle. Brian,
what's going on, brothers?
You go back to Canada. We're sitting top of the league.
Oh, mate, the things I do for our club, I leave the country just so it can happen. Mate, listen, 3 points is all we could ask for, wasn't it? It just shows that we can do it the hard way.
Yeah. How frustrating was the opening 20-25 minutes? All those chances on goal, Richarlison missing an open goal, missing a one-on-one as well. We just can't seem to get the ball past the keeper.
Oh, mate, listen, I came on the show yesterday and I was saying to you that I'm going 3-1 and 2 for Richarlison. Last time I do that, I meant he was going to miss 2 sitters is what I actually meant, not get to. That first one, I mean, I can't remember a striker that's having a more unlucky run, and it was a shocking performance from him. And it just we started off like a house on fire, didn't we? It was just non-stop, and it was just like this is to be a cricket score, and we just couldn't do it. And then obviously Bissouma,
What's he doing?
Do you know what? I mean, I hate diving, whether it's for us or against us. And that, at that time of the game as well, was totally unnecessary, totally unwarranted, totally unneeded. And today, he's very lucky that the 10 men did a very, very good job to get the job done.
Yeah.
Really disappointed.
tell me about how you felt we did, considering we had 10 men in that second half. Were you happy with how we dealt with the situation, or did you think, like, another day Luton maybe could have had a couple of goals?
So the way I've looked back at this, Timmy, if you look at it, there were a lot of tests coming into this game. One of them was the early kickoff, which we don't normally do well in. Are we going to do it? Pass that test. Then you've got the pressure of going top of the league and all the eyes on you. Pass that test. Then you looked at, is it going to be Spursy where we go into this game and we throw it away? Pass that test. Go down to 10 men. Could we handle it for a whole second half? And could the team be disciplined? Pass that test. Could we get the goal and hold up? Oh, mate, honestly, when I saw watching that kit, I just got reminders of Fulham and I was like, oh, no. I was like, oh, don't do this. But no, but there's so many tests we played. Yes, it wasn't pretty. Yes, it wasn't good. But we got the job done. And I can say, over the last 2-3 years, if that had happened, we lose that game. Mm. Really. And like I just heard you saying before, Tim and Ben, Postecoglou's got his substitutions right again. I thought when Skip and Emerson came on, it was Son and Madison. I was like, what the hell is going on? But again, he's got it right, hasn't he? His substitutions are brilliant.
Yeah, he's got this really great ability to read the game, see what the game needs, and shift not only just personnel, but also kind of tactical switches as well within games to kind of bring the game into our favour. But do you feel like we're a bit lucky that we were coming up against Luton today, and against a different side, we probably would have lost the game? Or do you feel like we just did such a great job with 10 men anyway?
You know what I saw with Luton today? In that second half, their finishing is so poor. If that had been another team, that could have been game over. We got a little bit sloppy near the end of the game, but I have to say, Christian Romero was superb today.
Yeah,
Christian, he was absolutely astonishing. He was brilliant. But yeah, I think if that had been another team, we might have been punished because their strikers just weren't at it. But they didn't get to take the opportunities. Shame on them, and we take the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, you would be hard pressed to find a worse finish than Richarlison's in the first minute, but Adebayo kind of outdid him on that one, didn't he?
Mate, I don't. You know, if he tried that a million times again, he wouldn't be able to do what he did. It was like, what are you doing? I actually thought at one point it was a save from Vicario because I didn't see. I was going like, oh no, hand over head, and I thought, oh, here we go. And I thought Vicario saved it, it was a corner, but when you see the replay, like you said, you thought Richarlison was bad. It was hold my beer moment.
Yeah, the ball comes in the box, right? The ball's coming across, and on the watch along, Sim on the commentary goes, "Oh, and it's a goal for Luton," because that's how much of an easy chance it was.
Oh mate, it was. I don't know how he done it, but thank God he did. Thank God he did. I do have to say as well, James Maddison for that assist.
Yeah, unreal.
It is just. Well, I think, like I came out and said it as well, I think we all knew how creative he could be, and what I just didn't know the impact and the influence he could hold so quickly. He's been outstanding, and he's injured or carrying a knock. It's outstanding.
So what's that? 2 goals and 5 assists in the opening 8 games?
Yeah, not bad, is it?
No, not bad at all.
not bad. You look at it, it's just, once he can get fully fit, and Son was a bit, he had his moments today, but it wasn't one. It was kind of, for him today, it was kind of like Sheffield United, wasn't it? They just didn't give him any space to operate in, and they made sure he was kept quiet. But the team are just, they find a way, and I can't remember a team for so long where we have just managed to find the solution.
Yeah.
And Valiz had a little cameo at the end as well. It was nice to see him on the pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, mate, when he got into his chance and then he got tangled with himself, I literally thought he was going to make it 2-0. I really thought he was going to do it. But you know what? Again, that was a great sub from Postecoglou, because we literally needed to hold that ball up and make sure it stayed at that end of the pitch. And he did that. And another player, I've got to say again, Pedro Porro.
I was just about to ask you.
Mate, honestly, like, people have known the last few games I've been waxing lyrical about him. This man is growing in stature. If he had scored that outside of the foot goal, there would have been another goal of the month candidate, because that was so unlucky. But he is improving week in, week out. It was another great performance from him.
Brian, instead of dropping to your knees when you see Pedro Porro right back, you're probably jumping for joy now.
That's what I am doing, mate. I'm literally, I'm waxing lyrical. I'm doing a samba. I'm doing everything, mate. I'm doing the Macarena, everything when I see him. And there's no fear with him, no fear with Vicario, no fear with the mate. For us to turn around now and say that we're not worried about our back five,
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think we can honestly say that since the Lloris, Rose, the Tom Good, Toby, Walker days. I don't. This defence and the keeper are very, very impressive, and it's only just beginning.
Absolutely. Top of the league, Brian, going in to the weekend. Whatever happens with the Man United Arsenal game, I think Spurs have given us a lot of reasons, not just this game holding on with 10 men, but throughout the whole season, the way we've conducted ourselves and played our football throughout the season. So enjoy your weekend, top of the league, Brian.
Oh, well, did you know what? Even if Manchester City win, it's a win-win for us. If it's a draw, we're top of the league. If Man City win, we're the only undefeated team in the country.
Yeah.
Who could, you know what I mean? Either way, it's win-win.
We're the only undefeated team in the country anyway, because Arsenal lost in Europe and our loss in the Carabao Cup was at penalties, so we still drew the game.
Oh, semantics. Here you go. Yeah, let's do it. Let's actually take that. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, damn right. We're undefeated in 90. I'm going with that.
Brilliant. Brian, thanks for coming on today, my brother.
See you later on, boys. Love you. And as always, come on, you Spurs. Not today.
Come on. Love that from Brian. It's halftime in all the games. The scores are still the same as I mentioned before. But let's go on to our next guest, Mr. Elias. How you doing, Elias?
Oh, he's on mute. There you go.
Hello?
They're all good.
Okay, guys. What a player Mickey Van de Ven is, by the way, guys. Like, I'm so happy with him. What are you guys laughing at?
Was he your man of the match today?
Yeah, of course, definitely. Mickey Van de Ven, I think for me, is so far. I said it last week as well. I think he is in the top 3 center backs in the league right now, with the performances that he has put up this season. The fact that
who are the 2 center backs better than him?
I think it's like, I won't say that he's like the best. I think right now the ones that might be better than him, some would argue maybe Saliba or maybe someone like that Palace guy. Some people are saying that he's better than Van de Ven.
No chance.
Joachim Anderson. Yeah,
I'm telling you, Elias, I think Van de Ven is actually performing better than Saliba this season so far.
I would say that, but I don't want to be labeled as like too early to judge him. But right now, if you ask me, my personal opinion, without considering any other, my Spurs fan opinion, it would be that yes, right now Mickey Van de Ven is the best center back in the league. But if I were to wear my neutral hat, I would say that yes, maybe he Joachim Anderson, Saliba, they are kind of like in the same range right now, because the Man City defenders have not been that great at the moment.
Yeah, but tell me how you felt we adjusted to being down to 10 men in that second half. Were you proud of how we performed?
Okay, I said it when I was on Tottenham away earlier, that actually the time when Ange made Højbjerg on and he took Richarlison, I think that was a good decision. I could predict that because it made much more sense to me. So we needed someone like Højbjerg that, even though he's not that creative, even though he won't win that many balls, but he would be someone who would bring some form of calmness in the midfield. Because if you look at Sarr can be sometimes a little bit clumsy given his age and his experience. He doesn't know how to read the game in the defensive side of the midfield. And then Maddison is really quite high up. And then when we were down, it was more expected of Maddison that now Richarlison is off, so he have to cover both the left wing and also a bit of the creative mid, that area behind the forward. So Maddison was doing a lot of that job. So I think that decision really worked well. And you could see that yes, after that, Maddison provided an assist for Mickey, and then that from that moment onwards, I think we did look clumsy when the subs came on. But I think the game, there's a lot of positives to draw from it. Like, guys, I understand I'm sometimes myself very negative. You all know how negative I can be, but I'm drawing a lot of positives from this game, because if only under Ange, I think so far that I've seen, if under any other manager, we wouldn't have seen this game as a win down to 10 men. And the man also who is down is Bissouma, who's been controlling our midfield. I'm particularly very happy with the performances, that the individual performances that we saw from Vicario, from Nicky Van de Ven, even Udoji, Poro, all of them like super good. I'm very happy with this game. Like I don't know why it's still too early to judge, and then I would say that yeah, we do look like we can win the league if we take it one game at a time, and then we do bring in some investments in January, and we put in this kind of performances. Then what's stopping us from winning the league, guys? Seriously.
Injuries, I would say, are the only thing
Yeah,
stopping us, to be
injuries
honest.
are a concern. Yeah, but what do you guys think? Like with the current injuries, do you think that these players, all of them who are injured, like Madison and Son, do you think they would be playing quite a lot of games in the international breaks? Because the games that England has and Korea has, I don't think that we really need Madison and Son to play there, so they can come back with fresh legs. Brendan Johnson is a concern.
I wouldn't bet on them coming back with fresh legs, Elias. I think you know that with Sonny, if he's available for Korea, they're going to use him as much as possible.
The problem is,
Yeah,
the
but they're
problem is, the problem is, Elias, with
East
South
Vietnam.
Korea is Klinsmann's on the brink. Apparently, Klinsmann's on the brink of a sacking. So if he wants to save his job, he knows he needs to play Heung-min Son.
Yeah, but they're very easy game, Ben. They are playing like Tunisia and Vietnam. Like what those two teams
Does
can
not
hurt
matter, I don't
really.
even
think.
more reason to have Son score a hat trick or something.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
that could be the only factor. But then Madison against England would be a tricky one because now Saka is injured, so Southgate has to play either Madison or either Saka. One of them, I think, has to play. So that would be an interesting one because Jack Grealish should definitely be on the left, and he usually play like central mid in the midfield. So it would be interesting what choices Southgate makes. The other one I think is Brendan Johnson, who has been called up as well despite being injured. Interesting one because they have
Brennan
tricky
Johnson, I
games.
thought he wasn't called up.
I don't think he has been
He was
called up. Was he?
He has called up. He's been called up.
I thought he was
from-
left out.
Yeah, he has been called up as well. And Wales have a tricky game against Gibraltar and then Croatia. So it would be interesting to see what the injuries look like. But despite the injuries as well, guys, like I think if these few players are forwards, if they are fit, and then Bentancur probably he might be coming back by 23rd of October. A lot of news are saying that he will be back by November. So let's see how it goes. I
I
think
don't think he was
tricky-
called up. He wasn't called up.
He wasn't called up. Then it's fine. Then I think he can have some time to rest as well. If then I guess. By the way, guys, what are your thoughts on Richarlison? Do you think that we should keep on giving him chances?
What
I
are your
think he
thoughts
has
on
been-
Richarlison, Elias?
I think he has been pretty awful, guys. Like, why are we keep giving him a chance again and again? For me, I think any other forward, whether it be Brian Hill, whether it be Willis, whether it be even like someone like Lo Celso, I would even start someone like Lo Celso over Richarlison. Right now, I think that confidence issue, we have tried enough of him so far, and he's not performing. And we have tried him in different positions. It's still looking bad, in my opinion. Like, why are we still keeping him on the pitch? It
Do you
doesn't
not-
make sense to me.
Do you not think that his performances have improved since the last international break? I get today wasn't great, and he missed two really gilt-edged chances. And if he puts those chances away, or even one of those chances away, it becomes a much easier game. But I feel like his performances have improved since the last international break.
I think he's a lot more involved compared to last international break, and he's taking the ball a little bit more. But one thing I realized about him is you can see the big difference when he's on the ball and some other forwards or other midfielders on the ball. He takes way too much time on the ball, and sometimes he gives up possession doing that. And then the other factor definitely is his finishing. He's still lacking with his finishing. And my opinion on him would be that right now, even though he's improving, but his improvement is very slow, and we can't risk it in like games like when you're playing Chelsea, Chelsea are shit anyways, so maybe we can try there. But games like Man City away, or even was this
Liverpool
Man
at
City
home?
away first? Yeah, those kind of games we can't play him.
Definitely can't play
Or
Liverpool at home.
Brighton, yeah. So I would play Brian Hill there or Brendan Johnson there.
All right, Elias, enjoy your weekend at top of the league, my friend, or at least tonight.
Yep,
enjoy
we're going to
tonight
win
at
the
top
league,
of the
guys.
league. Big up. Thank you for coming
That's
on,
Elias.
Elias. We'll speak to you next time. That was Elias, a very happy Elias. Let's move on to Ash Matic, Southview COYS. Yes, Ash Matic, how you doing, bro? On mute?
No, he's not. Oh, he is. Is he? I can hear something. No, now it's. Now I can't hear anything. Now I can hear something, but I can't hear his voice.
Ash, talk.
Oh,
I can hear you, but you're really quiet.
No, it's like whispering.
Can you?
Oh,
That's better. That's better.
You hear me?
Yeah. Now we can hear you.
no,
Can you hear me,
it's I don't know what's going on. It's a big delay.
There's a big lag though.
All right. Yeah, what's going on, boys?
That's better. I think that's fine now.
Oh man, let me go and come out.
I can hear myself in the background. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I can hear myself. I don't know what's going on. Maybe try and rejoin and see if that will help. I'm not sure what's happening. Let him get him to rejoin. In the meantime,
How many people we got waiting?
Okay. In the meantime, maybe and now it's quiet again.
I can still hear him slightly. Is Ashmatic still there?
Yeah, can you hear now?
Speak, Ash.
Oh,
Oh,
he's gone now.
he's gone.
Tell him to use headphones. Someone said. Maybe that'll fix it.
Ash, if you're listening, please use headphones.
Who else we got?
We got Michael, who we're just lining up at the moment.
Oh,
Let's get Stelios on.
Is he lagging as well? Let me see.
Stel.
Oh, come back.
Okay,
All right,
we'll
get him
come
on,
back
get
to you.
him
Don't have to whisper.
on. Got him in a compromising position.
Let's
all right.
try Ashmatic again.
Well, I can hear Stel still.
Ash?
Hear you guys though. Oh,
You can't hear us now.
I can't hear you, man. Oh man.
And now he's really quiet
I
still.
have to give it a miss, boys. I can't hear you guys at all.
I can't.
We can hear you fine, Ash. Well, we can hear you a bit low.
It's quite. The volume's very low. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? He can't hear us. Ash?
I'm gonna have to come off.
No, he can't hear us.
My computer.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
All right. 2 down. Who's next?
Michael around to will his technology.
Michael's
work? Here
internet
we
never
go.
fails us. It never fails us. Let's bring him on. Michael, how you doing, bro?
I can hear you, boys. I hope
Yay.
you. Yeah.
Michael, that's a smile of someone sitting top of the league right now. How you feeling?
That's right, boys. Sitting there, chilling, waiting for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got that top of the league glow on him. That's
Yeah, what was going through your mind in after the first opening half an hour? We're missing all those chances, just couldn't get that ball in the back of the net, and then on the stroke of half time, Bissouma takes a dirty dive and gets sent off. What were you thinking at that time?
Oh boy, I will get on Bissouma later, right? But like the first 30 minutes, I was watching this game with my friends, right? And I kid you not, we were just sitting there looking at each other, going like, "What the hell is going on?" Right? Like I couldn't fathom what was happening, and honestly, I like.
Oh my God.
What?
No, sorry, carry on. Have you seen the injury?
Yeah.
I
Oh
was-
my!
I
I've
was
never
so
seen
excited.
something as bad
Jesus
as that in
Christ.
my life.
yeah, it's
Jesus
sickening.
Christ. I hope he somehow makes it back on the football pitch, right? But it was such an horrific injury.
Oh my God! That freeze frame that they got there, his
Yeah.
ankle is literally popped out.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
nasty.
absolutely horrific injury.
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt.
No worries, mate. So yeah, like whenever like games like this happen, immediately like the thoughts of previous years just creeps up behind me and it's like, "Hello there, Michael. I'm Spursy, right? Welcome back." And I honestly couldn't like get rid of this feeling after we kept missing, and it's not only like Richarlison missed his absolute sitters, right? But we also had like a couple of other chances, one by Poro. I think Madison had a nice shot, Son had a nice shot, right? And everything was either going like this far away from a bar or a post or just straight into the keeper's hands, right? And I was like, "Oh, this shit is just one of those days," right? And then on top of that, Bissouma gets sent off for an absolutely embarrassing dive, right? And like I've even posted like what I just said. I posted this on one of the group chats, right? And someone like went in on me like, "He was brilliant for us this season," like whatever, right? And I would be like, "Yeah, he was, but today even though he played a nice game up until he got sent off, that sending off is absolutely embarrassing, right? If it was like a second fall for stopping a counter attack, I wouldn't bat an eye, right? Things happen, right? But come on, it was such an obvious like attempt on cheating, and I honestly said to my friend, like, if it was in the penalty box, I would like have more leeway towards it, but it was in front of the penalty box. No reason to dive there. No reason to dive there. Absolutely like embarrassing thing to do on the pitch, right? But then, yeah, like all those thoughts I had before this happened, and getting sent off, I was like, nah, we are losing today, right? And yeah, that's basically my feelings for the first half. But the second half, I honestly think I've seen many people saying that we were lucky and that it was like a really bad performance. I don't agree with that. I actually think that considering we were one man down, I don't think other than like one or two chances, Luton had many like opportunities to score the goal. I think our centre backs played an absolute blinder today. They were both brilliant, Romero and Van de Ven, and especially Van de Ven, who just happened to score the goal that won us the game. And yeah, I think overall, I would say it was actually quite solid, in my opinion. I was proud of them that they managed this game properly. I'm really happy, by the way, with Ange's subs. I know that people, whenever they see like Davies, Skip, Højbjerg coming on, it's always like, oh, come on, like, you know, why are those guys coming on? But honestly, in the context of the game, I think it was a wise idea to move to a 4-3-2 and then to a 5-3-1. I think it basically solidified us and allowed us to defend all those like attempts at crossing. And we honestly, it was really strange because I felt like with those substitutes, Ange kind of wanted to invite pressure and give Luton a bit of the ball and to spring on the counter with Sonny and Kulusevski left up top. But they didn't. We still had majority of the ball in the second half, right? So I think it was a bit of a strange game, but I'm really happy we actually managed to score the goal and win it.
Yeah, tell me who really stood out for you throughout the 90 minutes, especially in that second half, down to 10 men. Who do you reckon were our strongest players?
Definitely Van de Ven and Romero. And yeah, I think without them, we would have never won the game. I think if like we had someone else there, like Eric Dyer and Davies, we would have definitely conceded at least one goal. I was actually quite also happy with Udogie and Poro, even though I actually think they kind of got exposed a bit with those like backstick crosses, especially that one chance from Adebayo that I don't know how he missed that, but yeah, of course I'm happy that he did, right? But yeah, I think they got a bit exposed, but other than that, I think they were also solid. But I actually have to say that Maddison and Son were, I don't want to say anonymous today. I know it was really hard to play like as a forward line 10 versus 11, but I actually like expected a bit more agency from them to just take this game into their own hands. And I get it, they are playing maybe not at 100%, but I still think the quality of the opposition like made me want more from them. But it's not anything huge, right?
You say that, Michael, but it was Maddison's unbelievable bit of skill that won us the game, essentially.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But okay, so maybe like Maddison, yeah, like maybe a bit more. But I think Sonny was a bit anonymous today. I didn't see him like contribute much. I think I liked a bit of like that linking up of play that he showed us in previous games. But I get it. It was like they were playing low block, a lot of high.
Do you think that's a problem, Michael, in terms of Heung-min Son? Because we've seen him how he can be probably the best number 9 in the Premier League if he's got space to work with. But when playing against the low block now, we've seen it quite a few times this season. Sheffield United, the last game against Liverpool, albeit he scored earlier on in the game, and today where Son has been a bit anonymous when facing low blocks.
Yeah, I think if we manage to get ourselves a striker, like a proper tall, strong number 9. I think maybe it will be Velis, although I have to say he looked like a total unit today when he came on. I know it was only 8 minutes that he got or 5 minutes that he got, but in those 5 minutes he showed me that he has the upper body strength to actually fight for the ball with defenders. So I think if it's Velis or maybe someone else who we buy hopefully in the January or next summer. I think if we are expecting to play a low block team, I think we should move Son to the left, because I think that I'm not saying that he was bad as a 9, but I think against low blocks his qualities are better shown on the left, where he has more space to work with. Whereas in the middle, I think he just gets crowded out, and we need someone who is stronger, who can receive the ball with their back to the goal in a tight space and make do with it. Because I think that Son is good at receiving the ball with his back towards the goal, but when he has space, more space, right? But if it's really tight in the penalty area, then I don't think he provides as much as a number 9 would, right? So yeah, those are my standouts, right? Mickey van de Ven Romero, absolutely brilliant. Sar had a really good game today. Fullbacks were also good, and I expected a bit more from our forward line. And boys, we really need someone who can score goals in that forward line other than Son, because we can go like that with Richarlison missing 2 absolute sitters. Like, it's absolutely we need a goal scorer.
Talk to me about the work rate of Dejan Kulusevski today, especially when we went down to 10 men in that second half, leading the line up front. I mean, the guy just didn't stop running today, did he?
Yeah, it's honestly something I've seen a lot of criticism towards Kulusevski recently, in terms of that he's not producing much, that he looks like a one-trick pony, that he always cuts to the left and just passes it backwards or or diagonally, right? But I think he does a lot of that underappreciated work that won't really gather much attention. And I think like the amount of absolute work that he put today, the amount of like tackles, interceptions, and the amount of like times he received the ball with his back towards the goal and actually managed to shrug off a defender and do something with it, right? Maybe it wasn't really productive in terms of like getting us goals, but I still think it was really important because we kept possession, we kept like wasting time, so that this lead could be held on to, right? So yeah, I think many people won't appreciate him for what he does, but I really am happy with him in the team, and I think that people should like look at him a bit lighter in terms of like the criticism. And also I have to say he got robbed by Richarlison today. That pass for like in the first or second minute, that Richarlison wasted, it was Kulusevski's pass, right? So I guess in that sense he should have had an assist if there was someone competent there to finish the chance off, right? But yeah, I'm absolutely happy with him, and I wouldn't swap him for anyone else right now in our team.
And Michael could be going into the international break top of the league if results go away tomorrow. Tell me, what do you think we can achieve this season? What do you think are we onto a very good thing at the moment, or are we overperforming? How do you assess our start to the season?
I think I am really, of course, I am absolutely buzzing with the start so far, right? It's obviously we are unbeaten in 8 games, right? It's absolutely magnificent. But I think there is like a bit of a, I don't know what to call it, a reality check, but let's call it that for now. A bit of a reality check coming in December. We have a really tough run of fixtures in December, playing a lot of good teams that are actually performing well right now. I think like City, Newcastle, West Ham, Villa, and someone else, and Brighton in December, right? So I don't think we will keep this unbeaten run through December, but I still think we can easily be top 3, top 4, maybe even top 2 if results go our way when Christmas comes, right? And it's an absolutely unbelievable achievement for me, because coming into this season, I honestly expected us maybe to fight for Conference League or Europa if we were like really lucky. And to have us now sitting in first, 8 games unbeaten, playing really nice football, having a bit of luck. I have to say, like, a bit of luck went our way in 1 or 2 matches, right? But it's nothing to be ashamed of. You sometimes have to be lucky to be where you are, right? You just can't always have it up against you. You sometimes have to use a bit of that luck, right? So yeah, I have to say that next 2 or 3 games I expect us to win 2. And like, can you imagine 11 games or 12 games in and we are still unbeaten? Absolutely magnificent. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And in terms of what we can achieve this season, I think top 4, with how other teams are playing right now and with how we are playing right now, I think top 4 I don't want to say it should be a given, but we are definitely one of the top contenders for that top 4 spot, in my opinion. Whether it's fourth, third, I don't know, but we will see. But I think we are definitely there.
All right. Nice to speak to happy people for once, but thank you so much for coming on,
so
Michael.
lovely, right?
Big up, Michael.
We'll speak to you next time.
Yeah, see you, boys. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye. Up the Spurs. I think Everton have just scored again.
3-0.
Yeah, it looks like it. And also Chelsea took the lead with a penalty with Cole Palmer going 2-1 up. Let's see.
3-0, yeah.
Let's see if Ashmatic is back with us. Let's try bring him on. Ashmatic?
Yo, check.
Yeah,
Check
can you
1,
hear
2.
us? Can you hear us?
Hey!
Hey!
Crazy.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
Mate, top of the league. But I'm laughing, man. Everyone wanted us to fail after that Liverpool dodgy result. As soon as we went down to 10 man, people messaging in WhatsApp groups are going crazy. He's gone off the lot. Hey, listen, they wanted us to lose today. They don't want us to win. They don't want us to win. That's all I got to say.
But you know, Bissouma did his best job of trying to put us under a bit of pressure today. I mean, what is he doing with that dive to get sent off? Like only 3 minutes before that, he's getting booked.
You know what I've noticed with him? He has a lapse in concentration. I know, like the dive, like he's doing the madness. I don't know what he was on. I don't know if he was sniffing the yayo. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. But he's in a space where he can shoot. I'm thinking, go Bazuma, because he's just dribbling, coming at them. I think he's gonna bang it like boom, and then he just drops to the floor because he kind of overhits one of his touches, and he just drops. I'm like, brother, no. Then the referee was like, yeah, you little cheater, watch this, watch me now. I saw that Liverpool game, you little cheaters. Boom, yellow card. Boom, red card is off. I said, oh Lord. I said, oh my brother. I hate when one of the brothers get. Because I just feel everyone just jumps on them. I was like, oh, it had to be you. I said, why are you? Why are you like this? I said, well, it is what it is. He let our team down. And like before that, I felt we were doing, I thought, you know what? Before all of that, the first 8 minutes, I thought we were cooking.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I thought like the way we were moving the ball in the midfield and the chances we were creating, they could not handle us. Literally, I felt we let them back in the game because I feel sometimes in the midfield, we are a bit ponderous. Our concentration slips. We take one too many touches. I'm talking about individuals. So sometimes it might be Star hanging on to it too long. Sometimes it's a doggy. And sometimes it's Basuma. And then when they lose that ball in that central area, it's always in that central area. That's what gives teams confidence. Like, oh, look, we can get at them. We can press them. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas the easy pass is always on. And I find that when we just slip a little bit, when we just don't do the basics, 2 touch, boom, boom, triangle, bam, 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 move it quick from the back to the middle. I understand why we're doing it because we're trying to bait them on sometimes. Because I understand it's a low block at times. And they, you know what? I felt they didn't know whether to go man to man with us or whether to sit back. And I think that's the reason why we were opening them up a lot because they were like, right, should we go with them or should we stand off them? And I think we were just making a mockery of whatever they had for us. But then once they started pressing and they got the grip, so we made a couple mistakes, that's when the tide changed a little bit. They got a few chances in the game and then I saw the tide change and then they knew like, right, let's just get it direct into my man, Morris, return on the Mac. Yeah, so let's just get into him. Then he might have a little header or whatnot, and we might create a chance or win those second balls, whatever. So basically, I think we were our own downfall at times. But in terms of chance creation in that first half, Richarlison, oh my days. Had that chance fallen to Sonny, I know someone said it before, and like maybe Sonny wouldn't be in that position. But my thing is, you see Richarlison, like if Richarlison was on that pitch, maybe Sonny would have been in that position. How about that? Do you know what I'm trying to say? It works both ways. And like I just feel like that's an open goal. It's a gaping goal. Just get your foot on it. He got his foot on it, but it just wasn't enough to get in the net. And then the second chance he had, I'm thinking, put your foot through it now. Put your foot through it, and it'll hit the net. And he just doesn't do it. He just doesn't put his foot through it. Doesn't put enough power for it. The keeper gets a save, gets down to it. those chances for me, if you're a top striker, you're finishing them. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's not a top striker. But, you know, that's the problem. But obviously, I think he does offer something different from the left-hand side. I'll concede that, because most of our left wingers, sometimes they don't always invert in terms of like arriving in the box. Does that make sense? So off the ball runs, they're not in that penalty box like the same way Richarlison's attacking it. So credits for him on that position. But I just, yeah, man. For me, Maddison, like people were like, oh, you know, Maddison and Son's a bit quiet. I think Son's doing well because Son's doing what he needs to do. He needs to be a sacrificial lamb where he just makes runs. And then that helps the midfield, that helps the other wingers, it helps create chances for other players. And I ever think when Son presses from the front and the keeper kicks it and it goes off for a throw on, then we win possession back. So people don't see the off the ball work that Son is doing. And the same with Maddison. Maddison sometimes presses like in a 2, so sometimes it's like a 4-4-2 off the ball, where Maddison and Son both press. Sometimes it's Kulusevski, I've noticed, that presses from the front. So those things, like, we're not deep in as a fan base. We're not saying, well, you know what, them men are putting the work off the ball, and that's the reason why we're having 80% in the first half, which is a madders to me. That's crazy, 80%. Like, let's not sleep on that one. You know what I'm saying? But like, I felt the boys did well up until the Basuma obviously had to come off. Højbjerg came on, and obviously he had to shore things up, do things a little bit different. But I think with Højbjerg, because his skill set's slightly different, and this is where I don't mind Højbjerg at certain times in the game, he keeps it a lot more simple. He doesn't hold on to it as much. When he's ready to carry it, I notice he does carry it certain times. So those things are rubbing off on him. Like all those players that are carrying the ball and doing those progressive passes. And not to say that Højbjerg wasn't a progressive passer in the past, but I'm just saying in terms of him looking forward, he's doing it a lot more. And I just felt like as a line breaker, Højbjerg, I reckon he'll probably start because Basuma's he's going to miss the next game, isn't he? So
yeah,
we're going to need a 6 to sit in. So, but my question was to everyone, what if, you know, is Højbjerg automatically going to sit as defensive mid, or could we change our style if we're playing someone like Fulham and possibly put someone else there just to add a bit more creativity, especially if things aren't going away? Like, I'm not saying someone to start. I'm not saying like, I think Højbjerg should start, but I'm just saying in the second half, if we want to be a bit more aggressive, I saw one time Ange take a centre-back off, put an extra midfielder on. So things like that, when things aren't going our way, sometimes I feel like you can throw that dice and say, look, let's go a little bit more adventurous. Let's get a bit more attacking. Let's get a little bit higher up. Let's add these players. But to be fair to Ange, he's got it right time and time again, because I thought in that second half, they were all over us. And I was like, bruv, a better team. A West Ham, Aston Villa, Brighton, anyone would finish those chances. Like there was a chance, that chance, the through ball, my man touched it and it was underneath his foot. I said, oh my days, we were lucky. And then obviously my man with a sliding challenge, there was one in the box when man headed it. There's one in the box again when he volleyed it. Bro, there was so much talking points. I can't, it's going to be crazy. But like any other team, they put us to bed. So that is a worry for me as a Spurs fan. Obviously that was our 10 men. So I do concede that, you know, I shouldn't really take that into account, because I should only be really looking at that first half and seeing how we struggled at times to break down the block. But I think we created so many chances. Looking back at that first half, the amount of chances we created, I don't know how much it was, like 15 or something in that first half.
In the first half,
11 shots, I think.
In the first half, we had 3 on target, 12 attempts in total.
12, right. Yeah, so 12 shots, 3 on target. So that's real big. And like Kulusevski came mad close. I thought I was going to hit the net. I thought it was going to be bulging. I was like, oh, man. But had Basuma not been sent off, let's not get twisted. Had Basuma, we would have cooked them. I don't care what anyone says. I know there was vulnerability when they were switching the flank and our fullbacks were getting exposed. So that was one thing I noticed. And I thought, raw, that was a bit of Liverpool. Liverpool trying to do the same thing to us. And I think teams are trying to clock onto that. So when we play a team like Aston Villa, West Ham, that like to do this kind of mid-block, counter-attacking style football, then that's something to consider, something that we need to, you know, we need to clock onto. But we need to be more clinical. We need to be more clinical. We need to be fast in the defensive third, fast in the midfield third, and in the final third, we just need to be a bit more composed. Just a little bit of composure. That's all I'm asking for. Just a little bit more composure. And that's
Is that so much to ask, Ash? Is that so much to ask?
I mean, I mean, I'm just a Spurs fan. I mean, like everyone's talking about title charge. I said it before. And when I first heard it, I was like, "No, guys, calm down, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing?" But then I saw, obviously, Conte left because we didn't push on to get to that third position. Do you know what I'm saying? So that just shows how far the squad was. It wasn't that far off. Do you know what I'm saying? When he left, it was fourth. So essentially, we've got the same squads, but now we're playing players in their position, more attacking, and the energy's right. But no one is just for you. It's just for you, isn't it? So that top four is looking more realistic, man. I said 6 before, but I'm starting to believe, boys. I'm starting to believe a bit more, man.
I mean, why not? I don't see why not. There is no reason why we can't finish in the top four this year when you're looking at the teams like Manchester United, who were dead certs apparently for top four before the season started. Now they can't win a game. But talk to me about... We are batting away every question asked from our team at the moment, you know, down to 10 men for half of the game today, backs against the wall against Arsenal in the first half when things seem to be going the other way. You know, Liverpool, we rode our luck at times, but we have answered every single question asked upon the team so far this season. So can we even do more than top four?
I think the difference right now is the centre-backs. That is the key. Centre-backs is the key, my guys. Like last season, obviously Romero had... everyone talks about the partnerships, but I'm just saying, in terms of like being solid as a pair, just working together, having each other's back, bringing out the best in each other. We talk about the leadership between both of them, not just Romero. Like Romero's obviously stepping up. And I think Romero had a great game. I hadn't Van der Ven scored. Like even the game before that, everyone's like, Van der Ven. But I looked at Romero and I said, you know what? Defensively wise, I think Van der Ven's getting all the plaudits because on the ground duels, he's able to recover the ball and he does those sliding challenges and fans love that. But
it's something we haven't had in so long, Ash, though, what Van der Ven is bringing us. I think that's what it is.
I think man them are thirsty. I think the girl them, the man them, everyone's just like, it's been a famine. It's been a drought. And everyone, I get it. I'm here for it. I understand it. But Romero, for me, he's blocking, he's reading the game, he's intercepting, he's doing like all the things that maybe we don't want to talk about. Do you understand? But we might not necessarily stand out. You might not see because at times you see the things that stand out more, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying Van der Ven's been poor in the air because Van der Ven surprised me in the air, but I just think Romero in the air for me and on the floor and just controlling his aggression, he's been spot on for me. He's been a top centre back and the partnership together. I mean, we're able to play that high line because of Mickey Van der Ven's pace, and I think a lot of his pace does kind of help him out in a lot of situations. I would just imagine if he didn't have that pace. Well, like he might get exposed a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? But the fact that he has that pace helps him a lot, and he wins a lot of challenges, a lot of recoveries, and he just looks like a Rolls Royce at the moment because not just off the ball, on the ball. You saw it today when he drives through that middle, beep beep, come through, Mickey Van der Ven. He's able to take shots and like he's able to do little passes and that. He's able to even half turn. He's like, bro, he's a on the ball. He's a Dutchman. That's what happens when you get and Dutch players together, magic happens. Do you know what I'm saying? The belief starts happening. So, 100%. Yeah, bro, I'm here for it, man.
One more question.
Every player, every position.
One more question, Ash, before we let you go. With Richarlison not being as clinical enough today, Alejo Valise came on and impressed at the end of the game today. Do you think that it's an option now from the start of games, maybe start Alejo Valise as number 9 and push Sonny back out to the left?
I don't want to see Sonny back out left. I think Son is like we tried it. Don't get me wrong, we tried it. The first game we tried it. Everyone was like, Son. Second game, what was it? Man United, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like I just feel like Sonny's he's got to stay as the hitman. I hear it. There's certain times in a game, if you're playing a mid to low block team and we need a target man, a box striker, then he's an option because his first touch ain't bad. He can hold it up. We just need him to be a little bit more clinical because he did have that chance when he did come on, even though it was offside. I think it was Sarr. I can't remember who got it to him, but he takes a couple of chances. Like he turns and turns, but I think he should have hit it a little bit earlier. But for me, Son still stays number 9 all day for me. Son stays number 9. I like his movement. I like his runs into the box. Even like people say, oh yeah, he can't do it against a low block. He scored against 3 Arsenal defenders in the packed 6-yard box.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
what does that tell you? Do you know what I'm saying? So he can do it. He can. And his hold-up play is good as well. It's improving every game. He hasn't played that number 9 for a lot of games. So I think the more he plays it, the better he becomes. The more, and also his intelligence, his AI. Someone's got the AI, boy.
It does.
Ingrained into him, like like mathematics and that. Yeah, he's born with it.
Son
So
GPT.
I think, yeah, bro. I think the only way with Son is up, but I do want to see Valise get more minutes. It's a shame that we're out of cup competitions, because then that we could have really seen them in that capacity. But I think when Johnson comes back, Rich has to fight for his position. I think Johnson starts over him, in my opinion, because Kulu is the target man now. You know Kulu's going to hold the ball up. You know Kulu's going to run in behind. You know Kulu's going to, even though it's predictable, can you stop it? Can you stop him from coming onto his left? Because he got his shot off today. Do you know what I'm saying? They couldn't handle him. And I thought he was one of our better players, along with Sarr.
I
I thought
agree.
Sarr was working hard. Both of them off the ball, working hard, trying to win the ball back, holding on to that possession. So, yeah, may long it continue, man. May long it continue. And Kulu, it's only a matter of time before Kulu scores. I'm telling you that, because he's doing all the right things.
It's coming, Ash. It's coming. But go and enjoy your night at top of the league, my friend, and we'll speak to you very soon.
I will, bro. Love, guys. Big up.
Come on.
Nice
Up
one,
the
Ash.
Spurs.
Good to see you, mate.
Someone's watching the football terrace in the back end, and that's all I can hear. So if you can kindly please turn that off, I'll be appreciative. All right, let's get my grandpa on. Grandpa, how are you? How are you, Grandpa?
I'm great. What a magical game. I just loved every minute of it. It's so wonderful to be able to put the television on and watch absolutely superb football. Their passing was just magic. I just loved the whole game. And what's so exciting is that we've got backup when players get sent off or get injured. I mean, when Holberg was great. I think he came on, he calmed everybody down. His passing and his defense was all great. And I think that's what makes us becoming one of the great teams in this country again. And it's so exciting. And when you listen to Angie, he still says, we're still just learning. Well, my goodness me, that learning is so fast. He's such a great coach, teacher, an example of humility that you can find in football today, and it's so exciting.
Yeah, and the team today, had their work out for them at halftime, down to 10 men after that red card from Basuma. And it was always going to be a big challenge to, at 0-0, come away with a victory with a man less. And how did you feel like we coped with that challenge?
Oh, just brilliantly. I mean, not only were we a man down, we were playing away to a tough team who play very well at home. And we lost control a bit at the time, but we constantly came back. I mean, that goal, the corner, and Maddison's movement to get that goal was just outstanding. From that, I have to make him the man of the match, just from that single move that he made. Got them all going the wrong way, and got Van de Beek to just easily punch it into the goal. And I thought it was great. And I thought when Maddison went off, I was worried, because I'm always worried when they take off Maddison and Son. But this time, Holbein just fitted in beautifully in that particular position. And I think we had 70% of the possession throughout the game. I mean, that's extraordinary, really, when you're playing away to a team that's, got a reasonable reputation at home. So yeah. I was just so excited. I think it was just so enjoyable, so different. And I still take my hat off to Levy for getting Angie in and for buying the players that he did buy before Angie came in. Because Angie's turning those players like Basuma into greats, which wasn't happening beforehand. and I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait for the next match.
Grandpa, talk to me about the resilience of the team, because the last 3 games now, Arsenal, Liverpool, and now Luton, 3 completely different challenges that we've had to face in the game, and we've come through all 3 of them with 7 points in the last 3 games, and 2 of the top teams in the league that we've played. So, how much credit do you give to Ange, and how much of a resilience are this team showing at the moment?
I give it 100% to Angie, because what he does, he doesn't stand on the edge of the pitch shouting at telling the players what to do. He allows them the freedom to do what they know they do best. And if you're standing there shouting at them and saying, go left, go right, poor players don't know which way to go. Do you follow your boss, or do you go the way you think? So you get into 2 minds. He doesn't do that. He's the first, since I've been around, the first manager that actually does that. Just stands there, watches, looks, makes the odd movement, but he doesn't shout at the players at all. He allows them to be free. And I think that is the resilience you're talking about, is their freedom to do what they want to do. And the fact that they're inspired to do it is what makes the difference.
Yeah, well, what did you feel about the red card for Basuma? Were you disappointed in him for giving that red card away, or was it just one of those things?
No, I was disappointed because he knew he was in the area. He clearly dived. Absolutely stupid thing to do. But it's sad because he's probably been the best player this season for us. So it's sad. But, what can you do? He did it, and we managed to show, as you say, show our resilience with him gone. And that's exciting, really, that we can replace the player that's been our best player with other players that actually held it together.
Yeah, and now 8 games gone, Spurs sitting top of the league. What do you think Spurs can actually do it this season, or are we just in a top 4 battle, or what do you think Spurs can do this season?
I've been saying in the top 3. Now, since last week, I think we'll still come from 3rd. But, you don't know. You need a little bit of luck both ways. Nevertheless, we're growing, and I think just Ange has been a godsend. I think that is the difference between us and anybody else, is Angie, because he gets the best out of the players, and that's what's so important. When we're down, he doesn't jump up and down and say you're not doing well enough. He knows that they know that, and they push it. That is what's so exciting. He's a great, great, great leader. A great leader.
Love that. Grandpa.
Yeah, you know a thing or two about leadership.
That's right. That's right.
Fantastic.
Grandpa, thank you so much for coming on. Great to see you, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you soon,
Yeah,
Grandpa.
sure. Yeah. Cheers.
Bye.
All right, let's keep it moving. I mean, we got Stel coming on next. His internet don't look great, but we'll give it a go. Stel.
How you doing, guys? You okay?
Yeah, your internet is very laggy.
Yeah, what's new?
Instead of us asking questions, do you want to just give us your assessment on the game? Might be just easier.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, we're top of the league.
Hey!
Whatever anyone says, whatever criticisms that maybe it's luck, maybe it's an easy run of games, whatever people may want to use to criticize us, the league table never lies. The reason we're top of the table is because we've consistently won games. And that requires a determination, it requires a belief, and it requires a team ethic. And we're doing that. So for me, as a Spurs fan, no matter what your thoughts or opinions are on the past, the present, the owners, the players, you've got to be proud. You've got to be happy. This is a fantastic start. And let's not forget, before the pre-season, we were all talking about, maybe we can get top 6 at best, but if we sell Harry Kane, we're going to be mid-table. Well, we're on 20 points. It's unbelievable.
Halfway to safety.
halfway to safety. I mean, by the end of November, we'll have guaranteed avoiding the relegation. So yeah, you're right. Well said. I've got to give a massive mention to Mickey van der Ven. When we did the watch along for Spurs v Liverpool on your channel, I did it with Brian Daigle. Brian Daigle and I had a conversation during the show, and I was asking people that were calling in what they thought of Van der Ven, and I said, I think Mickey van der Ven is better than Romero, and I stick with that. Doesn't mean Romero's not good. I think Romero's an 8.5 out of 10, but for me, I think Van der Ven's a 9. He genuinely is our Vertonghen replacement, guys. We have found the Vertonghen replacement, and he's calm, he's composed, he's got stature, he's got strength, he's got pace. The only weakness may be in the air from set pieces. He needs to improve, but he's young enough to develop that. But as a player, I don't know, guys. I think we've found an absolute gem. We really have, and I stick by what I said. I think he's better than Romero. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I said to you still when I called into you that day that I said that to my dad earlier on watching the game. I said, you know what? Yeah. I think Mickey van der Ven is looking better than Romero at the moment. But look,
Ange gave a lot of credit to Romero actually today.
Romero played unbelievable today. I think both of them were unbelievable today.
Romero's still a top player, guys. Let's have no doubts about it. Romero is a top player, but I feel that Romero needed a Van der Ven or a player of that
100%.
caliber next to him to bring out the best. Whereas I don't know about Mickey van der Ven. I think he slots in with anyone. This guy, I like them both. I'm not here to say I don't like him. I like him. I think they're both great. I just think Romero. I just think Van der Ven is slightly better.
Do you think Van der Ven still looks this good alongside Eric Dyer?
Hell no. I don't think anyone looks good next to Eric Dyer. I mean, what a change of just what we as fans are watching defensively. You know, you got the aggression, the no fear, no nonsense, crunching tackles of Romero, and then you've got the technical, calm pace of Van der Ven. It's a marriage made in heaven for us as Spurs fans compared to what we've been used to for the last 3-4 years. So I wanted to give a special mention to him. I thought Kulusevski today as well. Honestly, when you talk about putting a shift in and having to carry that forward line when we're up against it, he did it. So, you know, well done to Kulu today. I want to be a bit balanced as well, guys, and say that I think we were very, very lucky today with... I think any other team that can be half decent up front, we would have been punished. But at the same time, Luton were very, very lucky that we were wasteful the first 15 minutes. They got lucky as well that we can finish our chances. So I don't want to get carried away with it. But one thing I do want to say, and, you know, I've seen enough now, and I'm not patient with it. I just don't believe Richarlison should be at Spurs. I just don't see it, guys. I just think that we're clinging on to an assist where he passes the ball 10 metres to the left, or we're clinging on to a header that he scores every 10 games, and we're trying to justify him being at Spurs and the price tag. We've made a mistake. We bought a dud. I just don't see how this guy is going to elevate us to the levels that we can potentially achieve. You know, I can't defend him, guys. I'm just at my wit's end with watching him play. It drives me crazy. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a place for him in football, just not at Tottenham.
You don't think there's been a bit of an improvement with him last few games?
Yeah, but when you're starting at 2 out of 10 and you move up to 4 out of 10, Sim, is that good enough? You know, we need 8, 9 out of 10s minimum for what we want to do. And look, football's funny, right? It presents an opportunity when you least expect it. Like last year, nobody in a million years thought Arsenal would be challenging for a league. But that opportunity presented itself to them and they didn't capitalise. I'm not saying Spurs are going to win the league. I don't think we're going to win the league. But if we get to January and we are title contenders, you've got to go for it. And if there's an opportunity to sell Richarlison and bring in 2 or 3 really good players and give it a go with only 1 game a week, you've got to go for it. Like when the door opens, Go through it. Don't make the mistakes we've made in the past where we didn't do it with Poch, we didn't do it with Conte, we didn't do it with Redknapp when those moments came. So I just don't believe Richarlison is going to be someone that, you know, gets us there. That's just my opinion. You know, I've given it time. I've tried my best, but when I see him missing chances that our centre backs would take, you know, if that was Romero van der Ven, they would score those chances. They really would, and they're defenders.
Yeah. All right, Stel, thank you so much for coming on today. Enjoy your night, top of the league. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but good to see you.
Come on, the Spurs.
Come on.
Come on, you Spurs.
All right, and let's go on to our last caller of the day. You know who it is. It's KPV.
Yes, guys, what's going on here? We are Tottenham TV.
Big up, Carl.
Big up, man. What's going on, lad? Like,
Talk to me through your thoughts on the game, KPV. Top of the league, my friend.
Yeah, top of the league. Like, yeah, 20 points, man. We're on 20 points. And, like, Elias put out a start on WhatsApp group saying this is our best start since we won a double in 60-61. Like, we're winning a double again, lads. The double's on, mate. Like, top of the league. Hopefully it's a draw tomorrow between the two, but I don't give a damn. Like, yeah, great. And well done to Sim predicting 1-0, so 5-pointer. Hey!
Come on, Carl. Come on. Who's your man of the match today, Carl?
The birthday boy. I'm sorry. Like, Van der Ven, but I have to go the birthday boy, Vicario. Like, another great performance. Yeah.
So wait, who was man of the match? Vicario or Van der Ven?
The birthday boy, Venom. Like, Vicario, man. Like, come on.
Like, Man United have just scored.
Oh, bollocks. I don't care, man. But the way they're playing, I don't care. And you've got a guy in the studio who supports the team that are falling up away at Burnley. Like, seriously, man, they're still getting slapped when they come to our house. So I don't care. Looks like they're going to win 2 games on a bounce, but not for long, mate. Like, brilliant win. And what was Basuma thinking? Dive, man. Like, he's probably been the best centre defensive mid in the Premier League this season, and he goes and does that. Like, he was already on a yellow card. That means, what, is it a 1-game ban or something? Then that means he'll be back on 4. But if he does get, like, yellow carded in the, he'll probably miss the Chelsea game as well. But
Man United goal has been ruled out.
Yay! Good. Fuck United. I don't care. They're shit. Like,
so, KPV, we winning the league this season, yeah? 100%?
Yeah, cool, man. The double's on, mate. Like, if we win a double, then I'll be at the front of that parade, and I'll see you lot in North London. Like, you said you was going to be at the parade if we won the Champions League, but fortunately that wasn't to be. But the good news is I'll be seeing Mr. Michael Dawson on the 24th of November in Peterborough, Friday. So, yeah, I'll be seeing Michael Dawson, who's currently watching Fulham Sheffield United, 2-1 Fulham. So, I like it. But, yeah, I'll be seeing him on the 24th of November. Michael Dawson, captain, legend, and Tottenham through and through. So, yeah, I'll be seeing him. But, yeah, great win, top of the league, and hopefully results go away tomorrow. And
what's the score going to be tomorrow, Carl?
Well, between City and the Field.
Correct.
I want to draw, man, because then we'll stay top. But, you know, City don't lose that game. They always...
I don't, anything but an Arsenal win for me is fine.
Yeah, I'd rather City win, but I want to draw, ain't it? So a draw would probably be a fair result, because then that means we'll stay top. But, yeah, City are going to win, man. And there's stuff going around that Arteta said that Saka's in contention, but why he should not have started in midweek? Like, he came off, he limped off. Like, yeah, what's going on with him, man? Like, he's in the England squad, and it looks like he might not start against Australia, and so we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, bring on the next game after international break. So, yeah, top of the league, and, yeah, so I'll take that. And, yeah, so big up, everyone. And we're top of the league, so we're winning the double, and I don't care what anyone says, the double's on, people. So put some respect on Big Ant. I'm out, people. I'll see you all the next game. And as always, come on, you Spurs. Big Ange we trust. In Dago we trust. Dago in.
All right. Big up, KPV. Thanks for coming on.
KPV.
And that brings an end to the show. We've got a couple of super chats to get through. TS saying this is a definitive goodbye to the Spursy tag. Maybe it's not a goodbye to the Spursy tag, but maybe it's a redefinition of the Spursy tag. That's what I like to say.
Definitely.
Mohammed Raza says, on an unrelated note, I wish we had 2017 Delhi in this Spurs team. He would thrive off Madson's creativity. I kind of agree with that. Can you imagine those Delhi runs, late runs into the box right now?
Prime Delhi, that'll be class.
Yeah. Beto says, spot on lads, big up, come on you Spurs. Mohammed Raza says, back to my super chat earlier, this Spurs makes me miss the old Delhi partnership with Madders would win the title. We need one more cam like Delhi. Do you feel that's what we need?
I think maybe some, like Sar's great, but maybe someone who works as good as hard as Sar, but a bit better on the ball potentially.
Like a Rodrigo Bentancur.
That's exactly
yeah. And Laura Perez says, big up to KPV. But that brings an end to the fan show today. We'll be back tomorrow with player ratings and the match review stream. But we're finishing today top of the league, people. Spurs sit top, unbeaten. And we'll see what happens tomorrow if Spurs are the last team to be unbeaten in the Premier League this season. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.